Allow me to teach you something that's gonna blow your mind. You ready? You don't create your reality. Listen, I know, it contradicts everything I've been saying, but it actually doesn't. Because every reality is already written. Do you understand? So you just choose it. That's all it is. When you understand this fully, this is how when you make any dua, Allah answers instantly. And this is what I feel like 90% of like the Muslim ummah, they just don't understand, bro. They're like, if everything is written, how can we have free will? This is why, Habibi. This is what it means that everything in your life is written. It doesn't mean that, oh, it's like I have no free will. It's like Allah already knew I was going to make this decision, so why am I being punished? It's because of this, bro. All of life is already written. So there's many versions of you right now. There's a rich version of you right now, and a super, extremely broke and a homeless version of you right now. But you get to pick which version of that do you want. So you have the power of choice based on the realities that are written. And this didn't only just confuse the Muslim people, bro. This confused everybody. Why? Because when people are learning about the law of attraction, they're like, how can I attract the reality that I want? How can I create the reality that I want? It's not that you're creating the reality. And I know, bro, I know. You guys that watch my videos, you're gonna like my people that watch my videos, you're gonna be like, but Muhammad, you told us that we create our reality, and now you're coming and you're telling us we're not creating our reality. It's almost like you have to learn this so that you can grasp this. So what I mean the entire time is that, bro, you don't create your reality. Your reality is already created. Everything's already created. So everything is already written. It's just you are choosing which reality that's written do you want. So you see how this does not contradict with anything in Islam? Because a lot of people are like, law of attraction is shirk. You can't. You're doing. I mean, what the heck are you saying, bro? So let me teach you something so powerful in this video. Again, when you understand it, you're gonna be making dua in a way where as soon as you make it, Allah answers instantly. For those of you, by the way, that think that, oh, Habibi, why are you doing all of a sudden clickbaity titles? Allah answers instantly. Nothing happens in an instant. Understand, we're speaking about Allah right here. You can't do things instantly. Can Allah do things instantly? Obviously, Allah can. So, what I'm teaching you right now is something of what a Khalifa would do. A Khalifa. So, Allah says that humans, He created humans as a Khalifa on the earth. So, for those of you that don't know what a Khalifa is, I'll give you an analogy, okay? So, first of all, Allah has created angels, right? Angels don't have the power of choice. Angels are not the Khalifa on the earth. Angels, all they do, their entire life is just worship. That's all they do. So if you're trying to imagine how that is, if I just told you right now, hold your breath, don't be breathing. At some point when you hold your breath, you're going to be grasping for air because you can't live without breath. Same thing with angels. For angels, not to worship is like them holding their breath. So they can't just not worship, they're made to worship, which means they have no free will. They have no choice. Devils, all they do is corrupt things, right? That's all they do. So if they, it's almost like if they stop corrupting things, they die. That's literally what devils are. So Allah created angels and devils, but then Allah created humans, and so humans they get to choose. Do they want to be angel like, or do they want to be devil like? So you get to choose which reality do you want. So that's what a Khalifa is. A Khalifa is someone who has the choice, a choice. And this is something that Allah has presented to all of creation on earth and the heavens, the angels, and everything else within the earth. No one was able to take it except the human. A tree is only going to be a tree. A tree will never stop being a tree. The mic, or not even the mic, because the mic can change if you change it up, but even the mic in of itself cannot change. It'll always remain a mic. The earth cannot change. It'll always, the water cannot change. It'll always remain water. So tree will always tree. Water will always water. But you can pick. So you see those people that are talking about like LGBT, whatever that is, these people, when they say we have free will, we have a choice, technically, bro, they actually are right. But what are they doing? I mean, they're just they're just choosing this right here. They're just corrupting. So you are the only being on earth that's able to choose because Allah has given you this beautiful, we call it amana. This is literally an amana. So Allah says, we have offered this trust, this amana to everything, the heavens, the earth, the mountains. No one can bear it except the humans. And then when they started bearing this, that's when they started becoming unjust and ignorant. Because you guys, You're like, oh, why is my life so bad? You're the one that picked a bad life, Habibi. So then, if you have the power of choice, how are you supposed to choose in a way where whatever you want, as soon as you make a dua for it, instantly it'll be accepted? So let me teach you how to do that. So, how do you choose the reality that's already been written, the reality that you want? Well, simply, it's through your vibration. Vibration. So, you guys are going to be like, Habibi, why are you talking to us about new age things? This has no place in Islam. Just listen, bro. Just listen. Vibration is basically a mix of the way you think, so your thoughts, plus your feelings. So this is the thing. The way you think and the way you feel, you combine those things together, and that is going to create your vibration. So then let me show you something. So most people, right, if they experience a bad experience, right, or just something, you know what, not even a bad experience, they just go through an experience, right? Whatever it is. Let's just say they got, I don't know, they got scammed by a Nigerian scammer, because there's a lot of those, and I've actually gotten scammed by those people before. But this is just an example. What's gonna happen is that as soon as you got scammed by whoever, the very first thing you're gonna be thinking is that, oh no, bro, I'm so freaking stupid, bro, I'm so stupid. That's what most people are gonna be thinking. So this right here is the thought. The thought. When you start thinking, oh, I'm so stupid, bro, immediately what's gonna be happening? You're gonna be feeling inferior. Inferior. So this is the feeling. So you got an experience. What the experience is basically, I got scammed. Then they're like, oh, bro, I'm so freaking stupid. And then they start feeling inferior. Inferior. So what is that going to create? This is going to create your vibration. So in this case, it's going to be a low vibration. Why? Because you're feeling guilt. You're just feeling, or not even guilt, you're feeling shame. You're just feeling low vibration. So you're basically hanging out right here, which is shame. So you're hanging out at the lowest of the vibration scale. So you're basically feeling contracted. So you are feeling contracted. So you see what just happened? So you got an experience. This experience created a thought, and then this thought made a feeling and emotion, and that's the way you're vibrating. So you're going to be living from a point of view of you just being contracted. And then as a result, what's going to happen is that now, because you're feeling this way, you're vibrating this way, you are going to choose more bad experiences. That's what happens. That's all it is. So you're basically in that moment, you're choosing bad experiences. And then people are like, so when I tell you, right, when I'm like, if you are going through like struggles that you don't want to go through, if you're feeling contracted, you're always getting bills and you don't want that, you are the one that's creating that. And you know what? That should give you, like, you should feel like you have more power. The fact that you've been creating the bad experiences should show you that, okay, I have power to at least create bad experiences. Doesn't that mean that I also have power to create the good experiences? And how do I do that? By choosing. By choosing, because all realities are written. The good realities and the bad realities, they're all written. So which one do you want to choose? And the way you choose is through the way you're vibrating. And by the way, some people are going to be thinking, they're like, hold on a minute, but if you say stuff like that, all the prophets, they've gone through struggle in their life. Does that mean that it's their fault that they're going through struggles in their life? No, because the prophets, what did the prophets do? All the prophets, they were in a state of Islam. A state of Islam is the opposite of being in a contracted state. So this state right here, this one, is the opposite. Bro, this is literally right here, the opposite of Islam. So if you ever feel yourself like you're contracted, understand in that moment of you feeling contracted, you're doing the opposite of Islam, because Islam is surrender. Surrender. So you can't be in a state of surrender and in a state of contraction at the same time. So the prophets, that's why they were all Muslim. That's why we say they were all Muslim, because they submitted everything to Allah, which means that's it. It's like they're just relaxed. So even though you might see on the outside they're having like struggles in their life, they were Muslim. They were constantly Muslim. They were Muslim and they died as a Muslim. So they were always in a state of Islam. So they were always surrendered. Does that mean when you also do that, you're going to start having like beautiful experiences every single time? No, because even like the bad experiences, they're always there for a purpose to move you, right? It's there to move you to a greater future. But the beautiful thing is that the more bad experiences that you go through, but you're actually in a state of Islam, so you're vibrating at a high vibration, you'll notice that eventually what's going to happen is that there's going to be something so big that's going to be happening that reflects the way you were feeling the entire time. And what's the proof behind that? All the prophets, all of them, they all went to heaven. They're all going to heaven. They're going to be living in heaven permanently. So even though they're going through bad experiences in this life, the dunya, the lowest life, they were always in a state of Islam. So when they go to the afterlife, they're always going to be in heaven. And this in of itself is the biggest proof that all of this is true. And also one last, like one extra point, right? People usually they think that patience is like, and this is just a side point, they think that patience, oh, I'm going through a bad experience, I'll just be patient. So I'll still be feeling bad, I'll still be feeling guilt, but I'll just like resist this feeling. I'll just try to be strong going through this feeling. Bro, that's not even what patience is, man. We have such a twisted definition of what patience is. Let me show you what patience truly is. There's a quote that says that patience is not enduring. It's not enduring. Patience is also not waiting. Patience is seeing the thorn and the flower. Patience, let me just go scroll down, is looking at the night and seeing the day. So patience is looking at the struggle but seeing the beauty. So this is the thing, bro. They say that even the moon takes time to be full. And realizing that is what patience is. So this is just a side point because most people have like such a twisted definition of this concept to the point that they're just like they're fine with living a bad life. You shouldn't be fine with living a bad life, bro. So don't be like, "Oh, I'm being patient in my life." No, bro. Like all the prophets, they were positive people. They weren't negative people. They never complained about anything. And this is very important because when you realize this, automatically, bro, when you start realizing this, you'll go through a bad experience, but your vibration is always going to be high because you're actually patient because you're seeing like you're looking at the thorn, but you see the flower. So you're looking at the struggle, you're seeing it, you're looking at the bad thing, but you're seeing the goodness in it. So this is what patience is. And by the way, this in of itself, right? So this in of itself shows you that life is a game. Life is a game. And the proof behind that is that Allah Himself said that life is a game. And this life of the world is nothing but a play. It's nothing but a play in Surah Al-Ankabut. So when you understand that life is a game, well, okay, how am I supposed to be playing this game? Well, you play it through the way you vibrate. So always like ask yourself, what vibration level am I in throughout any moment of the day? Because the higher up you go in this vibration scale, the higher up you go, the more that when you make a dua from that state, Allah answers instantly. Instantly. And you know what? Even when you're patient and you're looking at the bad things, but you're seeing the beauty of it, that gets your vibration up higher. And then when you make a dua, you'll instantly see that what the heck? It got accepted so fast. So all I'm teaching you right now, all I'm showing you right now is just perspective, bro. All of it is just perspective. Let me show you something, right? If I just search up perspective, the best picture that I saw that really represents life, bro, is just this picture right here. This one. Like, look at this picture. Like, that's why they say a picture has 1,000 words. You look at this picture, this person thinks it's six, this person thinks it's nine. Everybody has seen this. I'm pretty sure you've seen this. Both are right. So both of these people are right. This person exercises free will, and this person exercises free will, and they're both right. So it's like literally the way you think and the way you feel just dictates what kind of life are you going to be living. So if you've gone through an experience, right, and you got scammed in that experience, that's the experience. You got scammed, but then you don't think I'm so stupid, but you think something like, bro, what the heck? It's so funny, but it's such a crazy lesson. Like it literally taught me a new thing that I shouldn't be doing. If you start thinking like that, for example, it's like, this is such a funny lesson. That's the thought. So what type of feeling you're going to be getting is just laughter. That's the type of feeling that you're going to be getting. So what's the vibration that you're going to be feeling? Well, let's see. Laughter, where is that? This is joy, which is so high. So if you're going to be feeling like this, so the vibration is going to be joy, and it's going to be a high vibration. So if you're going to be feeling just like that, then what state are you in? Islam, which is expansion, which is surrender. Surrender. So now you're going to be choosing more good experiences. That's all it is. That's literally all it is. I just literally described to you the law of attraction from a point of view that truly makes sense. This is all you need to know. And then from the States, I just told you, you're going to be choosing more good experiences. So now in the States, what do you want? Like just literally make a dua, make an intention, say anything, and then immediately Allah is going to answer immediately. And this is why I've been saying, like, you don't create your reality, because you're not creating it, by the way. You're not creating any reality in this case. Like it may appear, it may seem like you're creating a reality, but all you're doing is just you're picking another reality that's always been written. That's why they say even your wealth is written. All of it is written. You being broke is written. You being a trillionaire is written. But which one do you want to pick? And so I've seen even in the comments, some of you guys in the comments who are like, why are you still making videos? You probably should have been a trillionaire by now by teaching all these things that you know. If you know that you can pick any reality that you want, how come you're not in the reality of you being a trillionaire? Well, here's the thing, bro. Because even though all of this is true, it all depends on your level of conviction. Your conviction. So, how convinced are you that you can become a trillionaire? A trillionaire. To be honest, bro, I'm not even that convinced that I could be a trillionaire, especially in this life. Like, I truly don't have a conviction of that. But do I have a conviction I'm like a millionaire? Of course, bro. Do I have a conviction that I can do anything? Of course, bro. And you know what's the funniest thing, too, bro? What I'm teaching you right now, it's actually so silly of me even teaching you all this stuff because this is your birthright. It's your birthright. Like, imagine I come and I'm trying to teach you how to walk. That's so silly. Me teaching you how to walk. Imagine that. So me showing you all the stuff, you're already doing all of this stuff. It's just somehow you've gotten so far into your sleep that you've started to forget that you can do such stuff. I told you, a tree will always tree. Water is always water. These things will never change, but you can. You get to pick what you want. And this is the beauty that Allah has given to the humans. So much so to the point that even if you read the entire Quran, you'll notice that Iblis himself, like the shaitan, he was so mad at Adam, at the human, not because Allah when created man, he created us from dirt. But he was so mad because he's like, why would you create something from dirt, but you've given them this power? This is why Shaitan, his entire life is like he decided to basically destroy human his entire life permanently, forever, to the point that he wants to change the creation. That's why he wants to change the creation of Allah. Because this power is so powerful, but all of you guys are not realizing it. But then once you understand that you truly do have this power and you stop being so small-minded, that's when you'll make any dua that you want from Allah, and then you'll notice it's like Allah is always here and Allah is always going to be creating in an instant by saying kun fayakun. But then here's the thing, right? Here's the beautiful thing that I found out. This is what I want to leave you off with. The beautiful thing is that I just told you, right? Life is a game, but life is also a test. Life is also a test. Because even when you play games usually, right? Like honestly, it's just pretty much a test. There's a good ending and a bad ending based on how you played the game. So then from the mercy, bro, from the mercy of your creator, the one that created you with love, the one that perfected everything you have in your life by you not even realizing it, from Allah's mercy, it's a test, but all the answers are already given to you. All of it is given to you. So even though I just told you you can pick, Allah's telling you what's the best thing to pick, which is insane. And what's the proof behind that? This is the proof behind that. So this is literally one of the proofs. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. I told you, bro, the Quran is timeless. It's for every human, for every space, for every time. And then most people, when they read these beautiful ayats, they're like, oh, this only means that Allah has granted Muhammad the Kawthar. And oh, the Kawthar is just a river that's in Jannah. And that's it. That's all it is. You've just limited the Quran, bro. Allah's saying, Inna a'tainaka al-Kawthar. We have given you Kawthar. What's Kawthar? Abundance, bro. Kawthar is not even just abundance. Kawthar is like more than abundance. Because Kawthar comes from the word kathir. Let me write this down actually. So Kawthar comes from the word kathir. Kathir means lots. So Kawthar is just like a hyperbolized version of kathir, which doesn't just mean lots. So Kawthar means lots of lots. Just abundance, pure abundance. And Allah is saying that we have given you abundance. In every moment, there is always abundance. So Allah is already telling you the answers are here. Like, what's the best answers for this test that we're living, this game that we're going through? It's always, all of it is just in the Quran. That is why it is an instruction manual. So if you start picking to notice the abundance, the kawthar that Allah has always given you, when you start picking to see this, you'll be getting more of that because now you've literally put yourself in a reality that's written of abundance, of that of truth, one that's based on truth. And how do we know that it's based on truth? Well, it's because it's directly correlated with the 99 names of Allah. One of Allah's names is Al-Wasi', which is the one that's like the expanded, or Al-Wahhab, the one that's always gifting, or Al-Razzaq, the one that's always giving rizq. So Allah, by nature, Allah always gives. Allah always wants to make things easy for you. But the way for you to actually be aligned with this beautiful will of Allah is for you to go into a reality that's written of that of abundance, of that of goodness, of that of joy. And how do you choose this, bro? How do you choose this? Habibi, shaking my head. I just told you, man. It's through the way. Where is it? I lost it. It's through the way that you're vibrating. That's all it is. It's just through the way you're vibrating. So I'm hoping that all of this makes sense, man. Because all of this should have never been something that you forget. This was always something that you should know. Even as a baby, like babies know this, man. It's just you've gotten so caught up with the way that you're thinking and the way you're feeling to the point that you're thinking that like you're thinking literally thinking that this is like you are the mind, you are the heart. It's like these emotions that you're going through is just who I am, bro. I'm just the type of person that's always angry. I'm just the type of person that's always like fearful. It's just I'm scared of things. I'm always angry at things. That's not who you are, man. Because once you start getting aligned with the will of Allah, you're gonna start moving up on the scale, and that's where you start feeling expanded. Allah says, like, "Alam nashrah laka sadrak." Have we not expanded your heart? And the way Allah expands your heart is if you just get into a state of Islam. And the state of Islam is if you surrender to the will of Allah. So when you start getting an experience, immediately, as soon as you start thinking and feeling things that are negative, understand that you've gotten against the will of Allah. So when you go against the will of Allah, you're not in a state of Islam. You're in a state of contraction, which is the complete opposite of surrender, which is the complete opposite of Islam. And this is what I mean that all the prophets, they all knew this. Like they've gone through experiences. On the outside it appears bad, but on the inside they were always in a state of Islam, and they endured. They didn't endure. They had patience throughout their entire lives, and that's why, as a result, all the prophets, they're all going to be granted heaven. But that heaven came from something that they did within this life. So if you start doing this, if you start understanding this, not only are you going to be getting the ultimate risk, but then you'll start going through life relaxed, surrendered, knowing that you're flowing with the will of Allah, which is the most beautiful will to flow through. The will of Allah is always going to be higher than your will. It's always going to be better than your will. And the only way to get aligned with the will of Allah is if you understand this. Literally, it's just if you understand this. And this is why I say, like, start living from a point of view of love. Stop judging everything thinking that is bad. Like, for example, if you just saw an accident that happens in front of your eyes, immediately you're going to be thinking, oh, that's so bad. Why would Allah do such a thing? Why did this even happen? And then you'll start thinking all these bad things. But who are you? That in of itself is so arrogant of you. So who are you to decide, oh, this is bad? It was never bad. Everything by nature is good. And the reason why it's good, because again, bro, it's good because La ilaha illa Allah. Allah is the only being that's making everything happen. So if Allah is making things happen, then who is Allah? Allah by default is that the most merciful, the one that has the most goodness, the one that has the most beauty, the most love. So this in of itself should show you that everything by nature is always vibrating in a vibration of love. And so it's so funny because this is even why when you go through like nature, when you're sitting by the river, when you're surrounding yourself in like a forest, automatically like you'll start feeling good because you're vibrating with things that are already vibrating through the will of Allah. I told you a tree is always a tree, but the tree is vibrating in a high vibration, which is acceptance, which is love. So when you're sitting next to a tree, like you start to feel this love too. So now to end this whole video off, how do you make a dua to the point that Allah instantly accepts it? Habibi, shaking my head, man. This should have been easy. Get into a high vibration. That's all it is. Just get into a high vibration, because when you're in a high vibration, not only is your perspective based on that of truth aligned with the will of Allah, but also you understand that all the realities in the world are already written. They're already written for you. So now all you have to do is just do a request, make a dua to Allah in the present moment, and then once you do that, you'll notice Allah is going to answer instantly. Instantly. But the reason why you think that Allah never answers instantly is because you are always in a state of contraction. You're always in a state of suffering, contraction. So I don't care how messed up your life looks right now. If you're always in this state, you'll always be getting more messed upness, more suffering, more of that. But then when you start becoming in a state of Islam and you surrender, you'll expand. And by the way, don't even tell me, oh, but what about war? Like, there's still war happening in the world. Here's the thing, right? I want to give you a quick analogy because I truly want to answer this question for you. If you've gone through, you've done everything, right? You've done everything that I just told you right now. But then what happens is that you make a request to start having more money in your life. And then the next day, you lose your job. You're going to come back on this video and be like, Mohammed, you just taught me the worst thing ever. I did it and then I lost my job. First of all, you lost your job because Allah is trying to prepare you for something greater. Allah is trying to take away something from you to give you something greater. Remember, patience. But the second thing that you've done in that moment is that you've gone against the will of Allah. Because why? You've gone through an experience, and as soon as you've gone through this experience, which is scammed or lost a job, you basically started thinking bad, negative thoughts, and then you started feeling negative feelings. So now you're in a low vibration. So now you're going to be in a contracted state, which is against the will of Allah. So in that moment, it's almost like you've messed up the work that you've done. So you've done the work, you've done this work already, and then next day you've had an experience that you used to consider bad, even though that's not even bad. It's just an experience. It's all it is. So in that moment, because now you started feeling bad, it's almost like you've undone everything that you've done. Which means those experiences that Allah is going to make you go through, you don't have enough wisdom to know why you're going through such experiences. All you have to do is just practice, like exercise this power of choice, and then keep thinking good of Allah. Always be feeling good of Allah. Always be in a state of surrender. Always be relaxed. Always be expanded. And then when you're in this state, that's when you'll notice eventually, the things that are going to be happening in your life is going to be reflecting the way you've been feeling all along. That's all it is. So this is my answer to those people that say, "Oh, but what if I start getting a bad life? Well, what about all those people that have bad lives?" But also understand too that we are living in dunya, just so you know. And dunya, by nature, is not supposed to be like the highest of the high. So like negative experiences are gonna be there. But again, you have to choose. You have to choose how do you interpret this, how do you change your perspective? And am I saying that all of this is easy? Nah, man, it's not easy. But then once you start doing it, like you get back so much power, you start to feel so much joy, and then this joy builds on this joy, and then this joy, and it just literally becomes love, which is so beautiful, man. So this is how once you make a dua like this, Allah is going to answer instantly, inshallah.